I play a young vampire called Christian Ozera, who he's going through his own sort of personal problems. I mean, this is what's so interesting about our film, is that we've got the peril and the surreal life of a vampire living in a modern day society, but at the same time we've got it's still a high school. It's still a bunch of kids with teasing and bullying and this, that and the other. So Christian, his parents did the worst thing, and I'm not going to give too much away, but they did the worst thing that vampires can do. It's completely looked down on, and obviously as a result of that, Christian is exiled in school, and he becomes a bit of a loner, a bit of an outcast. Christian's character is sort of, as I said, he's that sort of outcast, and he finds in Lissa kind of a kindred spirit, someone who's going through a similar sort of thing. She's being outcast, and she starts to sort of, the strings of her mentality start to unravel a little bit later on in the film, and they push each other apart, but then they come back together. The two of them are they're really kind of the only two that each other can speak to about some of their problems. Rose doesn't like Christian at the beginning, and Christian doesn't like Rose. Christian doesn't really like anyone, to be honest, because he's been pushed around. He's been degraded for the vast majority of his sort of late teen life. So he really struggles with opening up and letting people into those first relationships. And the fact that Rose is non-stop trying to push his buttons, and just trying to push him away, and especially push him away from Lissa, who he has found this significant bond with. And the only person he's really found that with in a very, very long time. The fact that she's then trying to push him away just makes that relationship worse. The Moroi and the Dhampir are gifted with sort of special powers. So the Dhampir have amazing reaction time, they're incredibly strong, they're fast, and it makes them ideal to be the guardians for the Moroi, and eventually they'll be paired with a Moroi and will become their guardian, and that's what they do, that's what their life is destined to be. Lucy's genuinely one of the most amazing people I've met in my entire life. She's absolutely hysterical. She's absolutely stunning. She's brilliant, and she's so easy to work with. You know, if like I've gotten, I mean, I wouldn't even call it an issue. Just like if I think from my point of view, this might help my performance a little bit, she's more than happy to just adapt, and vice versa. It's a really free. There's no friction between us at all. It all just sort of worked. From everyone, to the crew, to the directors, to the producers, to all of the actors, like everyone's so much fun, and there's just a light when we're all together. We're all, you know, we've all sort of been out socially, and there's no one that I would pick out that I would say, yeah, no, I don't really get along with that person. Everyone brings their own element to this to the Vampire Academy family. Mark has, he will have a vision of kind of with every shot how he wants it to be, but it's not a case of sort of his way or the highway. It's very much, why don't we try it like this, and then if I was to say, for example, like Christian's got a British accent, obviously the writer Dan is American, and there are some things that I just said, do you know what, I think maybe, can we try it like this? And he says, yeah, absolutely, let's do it this way, and then we'll give your way a go as well. And so we never struggle or argue. It's really nice to be able to have someone who's got a very clear idea of where he wants it to be, but is also very sort of flexible with taking on advice.